I want to give a little brief introduction on who we are and what we do. Well, I'm Silvia Rico. I'm the CEO and the founder of Enigma. Basically, we aim at being an owner-run and conscious boutique DMC. We're based in Peru, with main offices in Cusco, sorry, but also presence in Lima and operation throughout. We're specializing in curating, apologies, fully tailored and genuine inspirational private journeys. And of course, with excellence in service, but the most important aspect that I'd like to highlight here, and the reason why we want to stand out is to have a respectful operation. The story starts actually with myself. I'm a traveler at heart, and so this is, I'm going to go back so you don't start reading. Yeah. I've loved traveling since I was a little kid, and I always like to go remote to culturally rich destinations that had like raw and extreme outdoors. And I was always curious to explore the destinations in a genuine way, sort of getting beneath the skin of the country. This is in a nutshell what is the ethos of Enigma, and I was fascinated when I came across the long run because, as we will see later, our responsibility and sustainability pillars are very, very aligned with the four C's of the long run. And what I really appreciated is that it was a tool for us, or a platform, an organization in which we could share learnings from all of us. So, based on my own personal story, which actually travel took me to start this, our vision in what we do is that, our main premise is that travel has the capacity to transform our lives. And with that in mind, what we aim at creating is experiences that are inspiring, life transforming, and extraordinary, as in not the ordinary ones. And these experiences are going to conform the journeys that we present in Peru. We do this with three objectives in mind. One, experiences have to be genuine and meaningful for the people coming, and they have to allow a connection between them and the unique people and places of Peru. Second, they have to be non-massive and so personalized, like respecting the allure that each person has, or each destination may have for the guests traveling. And then most importantly, and as a general umbrella, we have to operate at all times in a manner sensitive to and supportive of our very rich, but also very delicate natural, social, and cultural environments. Very fast, our history, I mean, we go back to 2002, so it's almost 22 years. Started luxury treks in the Andes, so operating in natural protected areas with local communities. So we've done this since the very beginning. Then we expanded into other regions, and then we started international expansion by 2011. Today, we're a full service DMC. We keep our adventure division, so we have always kept our relationship with the communities and the natural protected areas. Staff of over 40 people, nationwide operation in B2B. And as you can see here at the bottom, we're also, of course, super proud members of the Long Run. We're certified B Corp since now 3 years, so we're already in the recertification process. I think there's very few DMCs holding this, and hopefully, as Lars and Simon was saying, hopefully more people to come, and also founding members of the Conscious Travel Foundation. Back to here. This is Peru. It's vast and super diverse. So just to say that we operate in all of these incredibly rich region with seasons that are tricky, geography and altitude. This is a 3-dimensional map. I just want to say, contact us if you would like to have any specific online training on the destination in itself. And otherwise, my focus would be on our responsibility and sustainability side of what we do. And this is very important to us. So in recognizing that where we operate is so rich, but at the same time fragile and sensitive, what we aim at doing is having a minimal negative impact, and if possible, lasting overall positive effect. We like to say that rather than giving something back, we prefer in the first place to not take away from. Yeah. But there's a really deep responsibility of doing the things in the best way possible. In this sense, as I was saying, it was amazing to see the forces of the long run because they really aligned with our four pillars, which I'm going to talk about. And so I know and I'm aware that I'm tight in timing and I can talk a lot about Peru, but I'm going to try and be concise here. So our first pillar has always been called responsible operation, which align with commerce in a way. And this is about how we minimize our negative impact, amplify our positive one, and need to always be updated on best practices in our operations. To consider that we operate in natural protected areas, in remote areas with local people that we have to train and integrate in what we do like firsthand. And so sometimes it's really common sense. So having an organization like the Long Run giving guidelines on many things and sharing with experiences of other people in other corners of the world has been a game changer. Projects, for example, we do team and stakeholder surveys and training. We've worked with a consultancy firm called Considerate, based in Germany and London as well. We use solar powered energy. We have difficulty in finding composting places, so we will create our own. So there's some given things in some corners of the world which are not a given in Cusco, for example. So we have to basically generate them. Some numbers regarding our impact. 100% of our profits are fully invested in Peru. To date, we are supporting 293 families. They directly depend on our activity. The percentage of locally employed staff is 100%. So we don't employ people that are not Peruvian or Peru-based. And there's a measure also on the local supplier ratio. This is the number of suppliers that are Peruvian or local versus the total number of suppliers. Sadly, we have to exclude some hotels and restaurants because there's international chains. But in numbers, really, where anything that is, not necessary asked or sometimes requested by clients directly, we're going to go local. Our second pillar is the social commitment, and it refers to how we integrate ourselves into our community and then share and grow and care about each other. And our focus goes especially to children and women because we consider these are the two most fragile or vulnerable collectives in Peruvian society, with an increased focus on elderly lately also. So some of the projects, and I don't have the time to explain or share them here, but one is AMA, which is providing first jobs to single moms. Casa Mantai is striking and really heartbreaking because it helps teenage girls and moms, teenage moms. So they're basically rejected. They have no means. And so it is really heart touching. And there's a Lima nursery, which I could also talk about. But our impact so far, and we've tried to measure it again in community members supported, which is over 1,000 members, and 85% of which are children and women. Yeah. And that aligns, of course, with the community C of the Long Run. Third pillar would be environmental respect, and it's about what we do to protect and promote our rich environment and biodiversity. As projects, this is a little mistake. It's not an Amazon project, but Amazon Shelter, which is helping to avoid animal trafficking in the Amazon. Reforestation projects, and then Arbio, which is also protecting the Chihuahuacos in the Amazon. We try and measure our impact directly or indirectly through, the hectares supported or through the projects or initiatives or stakeholders we work with. And that's 2.8 million hectares, which is barely 2% of Peru's surface. So there's room for improvement, but we're quite happy because most of these hectares supported are in natural protected areas. Yeah. Now, and yeah, that one is of course associated to conservation, but the last one, which is number 4 pillar for us, has been the conservation of cultural heritage. This is a special pillar for myself. I feel, I mean, after having traveled to different corners of the world, I feel that we need to protect and promote the conservation of our roots, wisdom, and diversity. And so what we do here is integrate all of these into our experiences and journeys, through experiences themselves, choosing who we work with, and always going to do that in a genuine and fair way, fundraisings, donations, volunteering, and basically creating awareness about all these collectives. Some of the specific projects have been, for example, collaborating currently with the Nazca Lions Heritage, llama pack, which is basically bringing back the original llama breed. And then there's 2 beautiful projects in the pipeline, which is 2 books, Textile and Pisco Heritage, which again is something that, as simple as it may sound, is like, come on, Pisco. No, there's a lot of unknown data and unknown knowledge and wisdom, which is not written. And basically, in terms of impact, we support 55 initiatives, and 100% all of our journeys will have at least one cultural experience that we consider collaborative of the conservation of the cultural heritage. And I'm almost done. So basically the last point is that, I mean, we've gone through a very rough patch in Peru, with only this year getting to hopefully recover pre-pandemic levels and profits. So as soon as we get this, and as soon as we hopefully close the year in blue numbers, we are already establishing a non-profit organization. We're not asking for money, but of course, if anyone wants to support, they're super welcome. But basically what we want to do is, with our profits, there's going to be a percentage assigned at the end of 2024 into this non-profit organization, which will have all these objectives, basically what we spoke about, our 4 Cs, or our 4 pillars, and the long run 4 Cs. But our key point here is transparency. We feel there's a lack of transparency, and we want to just let people know that any penny that is coming here, which is going to come from our profits to start with, but we're going to be super open, as in, here are the bank extracts, here's we're putting the money, here are the costs, and here's what we're achieving. So we've chosen these words here at the bottom: honesty, respect, conservation, and then sustainable freedom. This is referring to the fact that we find there's many schemes that are around the nonprofit that actually are based on donations that create a dependency towards those donations. So we want to dedicate the funds to projects and initiatives that create a sustainable freedom, as in freedom for to sustain their families, or financial freedom in their projects or in their work. Basically that's it. I think I've gone over my time. Thank you so much, everyone. And